So, Bob, in terms of Truro's status now, it was withdrawn with tube problems and firebox problems, wasn't it? So a lot of people would say it should be restored to steam in some form or other. What's your view of that?
Well, two things. One is, we're not a heritage railway, we are a railway museum. So 800, 900,000 visitors see it here, on the turntable, and we can recount the story of the 100-mile-an-hour run and so on, and put its place in history, which is what our job is. And the second thing is, to do it needs a major firebox work, let alone retubing, and then the bottom end would need a lot of work as well. And then, of course, on the main line, it doesn't really haul a commercially viable train. We know that from when it was operating last time. And out there, of course, the network has got faster, it's got more congested, so probably it's time for this locomotive to sit in the museum and enjoy its retirement.
So can you see a time when the only performers on the main line are the very best, fastest, best maintained engines like Earlmouth Edgecombe and Bittern and Tornado?
Well, I can see the point of having trains running from really major centres of engineering excellence like Tyseley on restricted runs where they're not going too fast, although given the way it's working now, that may end up being when there's less traffic about on a Sunday or mid periods of the day or something, but simply because just how congested the railway is. I could see that happening. I can also see the arguments for things like the A1, which, of course, because it's all new, you're dealing with every component is brand new. So that you've probably done all your destructive, non-destructive testing and all the rest of it. So it's all right, and you're not thinking, well, is that nut going to go at 60 miles an hour?
So it works for things like Tyseley because of their engineering base. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it really does. It works for somebody who basically they know fitness to run. They're turning off a site that's got turntable watering facilities, coaling, ashing out, all the rest of it. If you like, a skill base that's just sat there, as opposed to, say, going up one of the main lines and going onto a former shed site, which, if you're lucky, has a pit, and it's been used for stabling diesels for 40 plus years.
So does Truro not have any sort of future on a preserved line? Because it was at Toddington for a while, wasn't it? And I think we looked after it fairly well. Is that not a sort of alternative possibility at some stage?
Well, it might be. I mean, it's a case of never saying never, really. But we're not at that point now. And I just reiterate the point that, fundamentally we're a museum, and we do get a lot of visitors seeing it here, and we're able to tell its story in a very direct way, which you're not necessarily going to do if it's, say, working mainline and it's shedded in some, Barton Hill or somewhere, and you can't see it there. You can see it for 5 minutes on the platform at Templemeads before it sets off down the line. So
So arguably, you're saying that because you're a national museum, you've got responsibility to let as many people as possible actually have access to it.
That's right. And also, we it's our responsibility to do access and interpretation of these things and actually get its story out there. That's kind of our job. And as I say, we're not a heritage railway. This is a museum fundamentally, and it's good that we do have machines that work. Nearly always with partnerships with other people. So, like Oliver Cromwell is a partnership with the 5305 Locomotive Association.
Some people would like to see the Dean Good steam. I've heard a little groundswell of opinion on that one.
There was a Facebook page. There's a Facebook page about the Dean Goods. They had a correspondence with me, which was quite entertaining. But the Dean Goods is sat there in the middle of steam in Swindon. I'm sure the people that run steam would argue that they're telling its story better than if it was based on the South Devon or one of the preserved lines which it might be suitable to put it on. I'm sure it wouldn't be difficult to raise the money to do it, but really the cost of getting it out of that museum would be rather high. Just at the moment I can't see that the argument really stacks up.